Hi, I'm Olivia, and welcome to class. This will be a 45-minute all-round vinyasa flow class. It's not suitable for complete beginners. If you've never done yoga before, we have got a beginner's course. You could check that out elsewhere on my website. But I will be giving you different options so you can choose to work the poses in a way that suits your body best. So make sure that you've got plenty of space to move around. Maybe you've got a drink of water to hand. And also I'm going to be using a yoga brick. If you haven't got one of these, something else other stuff that you could use that might work would be possibly a thick book. I've seen people in Zoom land using like an upturned NutriBullet cup, like a can of baked beans, that kind of stuff. Just something solid that you could lean on for support. And then once you've got that, lie down on your back with your knees bent. So if you have any kind of injuries that you're not sure how to modify for in a flow class, you may want to just hit pause on the video and send me a message and let me know, and we can have a quick chat. If you are working with any injuries or any conditions, or even if you're not, just if I give you an instruction and you don't feel like it works for your body, then you could just ignore that instruction. If we do a pose and something doesn't feel quite right, if it feels kind of tweaky, especially in a joint like in your knee or in your shoulder, then just back out of what you're doing. Maybe remember what you're doing. And again, you could pop me a message at the end of class and we can have a chat. So let's rest either hands on belly, or you might prefer perhaps one hand belly, one hand chest. And take a few slow breaths. So inhaling slightly longer than you normally would. And exhaling just very slightly longer than you normally would. So deliberate, calm inhale. Unhurried exhale. See if you can keep breathing like that. And if at any point there's anything that we do in class that either you're working so hard or the sensations that come up in your body are so strong, you feel like you can't breathe slowly and calmly like you are right now, that's another indication that you might just want to back off from what you're doing. So this discipline isn't about push through the pain and just keep going. It's more about listening to your body and see if you can hear the signals that it's sending you. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, hug your knees into your chest, give yourself a squeeze. Maybe rock a little bit side to side. And then make your way to hands and knees. So you could roll to one side and come up, or you could roll up to sit. Come to all fours. And if being flat on your palms is uncomfortable on your wrists, you could always go on knuckles or fingertips. Hands are about underneath your shoulders, knees about underneath hips. Keeping that set up, next time you inhale, let your spine arch a little towards the floor and see if your shoulder blade can slide slightly down your back away from your ears. As you exhale, push the floor away, round spine up to ceiling, and let your head drop. Again, inhale, arch spine to floor, shoulders away from ears, tailbone lifts, maybe look forwards. Exhale, push the floor away, round spine up to ceiling. Then next time you pass through spine about level with the floor, just pause there. On an inhale, reach your right arm out to the side of your room and then up. As you exhale, thread that arm behind your supporting arm and reach towards the opposite side of the room. So it might be that your right shoulder and the right side of your face rests on the floor. If so, fine, just place it there. If it doesn't, and head dangling is uncomfortable, you could grab your brick or maybe a cushion or something, rest your head on the block. So as you inhale, think about trying to slide your right hand just a tiny bit more underneath. As you exhale, perhaps use your left hand to turn just very slightly more. Take one more breath in here. As you breathe out, push down into your left hand, come back up to all fours. Then same thing, other side. Inhale, reach left arm out to side and then up. Exhale, swoop it back down to the floor, pass it behind your supporting arm, reach towards other side of the room. And just taking a moment here. So what's happening in your body, there's a bit of a twist in your spine. Also, your left shoulder blade will kind of slid round to the side of your back. See if you can maybe take your breath a little bit more into upper back. So into that space that movement of your shoulders has created. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, press down into right hand, come back to all fours. Walk both your knees back a step, tuck your toes under, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Okay. So what I want you to be thinking about in your downward dog is trying to get as long as possible from hands to hips. So rather than being at all concerned with legs straight and trying to get your heels down, which might make your spine kind of round up to ceiling, instead see how it feels to let your heels lift a bit, bend your knees a little, push the floor away with your arms and send your tailbone up and back. Imagine the triangle shape you're making with the floor, where the floor is the base of the triangle and your bum is the point. It's almost like you're trying to sharpen that point on the top of the triangle. Next time you inhale, lift your right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, step that foot forwards between your hands, drop back knee down to the floor. So if your foot doesn't quite get between your hands, it ends up somewhere here, just grab it with your right hand, bring it forwards, back knee down. Prop your hands on your front thigh, so bring yourself up. If this is uncomfortable for your back knee on the floor, you could always grab like a cushion or a blanket, maybe put it underneath your mat, so you've got a bit of extra padding there. See if you feel any sensation of stretch in front of left hip. Let's try and access that a little bit more. Straighten front leg a little. Draw your belly button in like you're trying to flatten your lower back. Keep that feeling. Rebend your front knee. And then if it feels okay in your back foot, gently press your back foot down into the floor. Great. Keep doing all of that. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. If that feels kind of pinchy on your shoulders, you could try taking your hands a little wider apart. So arms are reaching up, chest lifts. Belly button drawing in a little bit and back foot pressing down. Take an inhale there. Exhale, hands down by your front foot. Step back, downward facing dog. So hips go up and back again. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, step your left foot forwards between your hands. Back knee down onto floor. Hands on your front thigh. Same thing, just notice how this feels when you're just making the general shape. And then we'll start to make some refinements. Straighten your front leg a little bit. Switch your stomach muscles on. Keep that feeling. Rebend your front knee. It might feel like you can't bend your knee as far. That's okay, that's good. That's kind of what we're after. Press back foot down into the floor. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Okay, so we are going to go through this pose a few times, a little bit faster. So just remembering the actions we're working here. Back foot pressing down, arms, chest reaching up, stomach muscles switched on slightly. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, hands down to floor, downward facing dog. So if at any point we're in downward dog, or any pose and you need to take a break, you could always drop your knees down to the floor like this. If it's comfortable for you, you might want to take a child's pose. That means sitting bum back towards heels. If you're good in your downward dog, hold there for a couple more breaths. Maybe as you inhale, bend your right knee, press left heel down towards floor. Exhale, same thing, second side. Then if you're alternating bending your legs, make both legs even. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, walk your feet forwards to your hands. So you end up in a standing forward fold, i.e. bending over at the front of your back. Take hold of your elbows or cross your arms. Let your upper body dangle. And if you notice you're looking at your feet, unless you're doing that on purpose because of you're favoring something in your neck, maybe let the back of your neck completely relax. So head dangles and your gaze will be more towards your legs rather than towards floor. Sway side to side. So letting the weight of your head, the action of gravity, kind of traction, back of neck, upper back. Notice where you feel this the most. Is it mainly about neck, upper back, lower back, bum, backs of thighs, all the way down backs of legs? Anywhere around there would be normal and reasonable. Then next time you sway through center, pause. Let your arms just dangle. Start to slide your fingertips up your shins and lift halfway up to standing. So rather than rounding up through your spine, I want you to instead think, pull chest forwards, stick your bum out behind you, lift up until you start to feel a bit of inward curve in your lower back. So you feel like back muscles are switching on. Then you can either stay here with fingertips on knees. So this is going to be mainly working perhaps lower back, a bit upper back, bum, backs of thighs. If you also want to strengthen around your shoulder blades, see how it feels to reach your arms back alongside you, palms face the floor. Maybe shrug shoulders away from your ears. If you're looking forwards to the front of your room, instead just tuck your chin a little bit. So you might end up looking at the floor kind of in front of your mat. Take a breath in. Exhale, relax, fold down to legs again. One more time, slightly faster. Inhale, halfway up to standing. So chest pulls forward, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, fold down towards legs again. This time as you inhale, come all the way up to stand, reach your arms up to the ceiling. So you can take arms forwards and up, you can take them out to the side and up. Then as you exhale, bring palms together, thumbs to chest. So we're going to start to move a little bit faster. Remember, you can rest whenever you like. Inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, fold down towards your legs. You might want to bend your knees if that feels a bit nicer. Inhale, lift halfway up to standing. So chest pulls forward, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, fold down to legs again. Inhale, come all the way up, reach your arms up. Exhale, palms together, thumbs to chest. Inhale, reach to ceiling. Exhale, fold down towards legs. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up to stand, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands in prayer. One more time. Inhale, reach to ceiling. So this is how fast we're going to keep moving. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up and reach up. Exhale, hands in prayer. Let's add lunges. Inhale, reach to ceiling. Exhale, fold down towards legs. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fingers down, right foot back, right knee to the floor. Inhale, reach your arms to the ceiling. So same as we practiced. Exhale, hands down, step back, plank. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, drop your knees, lower to the floor without sticking your bum up. Reach your arms straight back alongside you. Inhale, locust pose. That means lift arms, legs, chest. Exhale, hands under shoulders, downward facing dog. Take a breath in there. As you breathe out, step your right foot forwards. Remember, grab it and help it if it needs it. Back knee to floor. Inhale, reach arms to ceiling. Exhale, hands down, step forwards, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, refold. Inhale, come all the way up and reach your arms up. Exhale, palms together, thumbs to chest. Other side. Inhale, reach to ceiling. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fingers down, left foot back, left knee to your mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands down, plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, drop knees, lower down. Reach your arms back alongside you. Inhale, locust pose, lift up. Exhale, hands under shoulders, downward facing dog. So hips go up and back. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, step your left foot forwards, back knee to floor. Inhale, reach arms to ceiling. Exhale, hands down, step forwards, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reach your arms up. Exhale, palms together, thumbs to chest. Inhale, reach to ceiling, so another round. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fingers down, right foot back, right knee to the floor. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands down, plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower down to your mat. This time, keep your hands on the floor. Untuck your toes. Inhale, cobra pose. So pull chest forwards a little. Exhale, lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Inhale, send your right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, step your foot forwards between your hands. Drop back knee down to floor. Inhale, reach arms to ceiling. Exhale, hands down, step forwards, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, refold. Inhale, come all the way up and reach your arms up. Exhale, palms together, thumbs to chest. Last side, breath in, reach to ceiling. Breath out, fold down towards legs. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fingers down, left foot back, left knee to floor. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, hands down, plank. Inhale, plank, belly muscles firm. Keep that feeling as you exhale, lower to floor. Hands stay down. Inhale, cobra pose, shoulder blades away from your ears. Exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, send your left leg up and back. Exhale, step it forwards between your hands, back knee down. Inhale, reach arms to ceiling. Exhale, hands down, step forwards, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, refold. Inhale, come all the way up, reach your arms up. Exhale, palms together, thumbs to chest. Moving on. Inhale, reach to ceiling, so same steady pace. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pause there. Same slow, steady breath. So inhale in through your nose. Exhale through your nose. When we get to downward dog in this more movement part of the class, you've got a couple of choices about what you might want to do. You could stay here and breathe. Alternatively, if you need a break, maybe drop your knees down to the floor, grab a drink of water if you like. You could stay in all fours, or you could sit your bum back to a child's pose. Or if you want to keep moving, this isn't better or worse, it's just a different option to choose from. You can go through that same little sequence we've already done a few times, which would be inhale, shift forwards to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, so far we've done locust or cobra pose. You could pick from those, or if you have another back bend you prefer, you could choose that. Exhale, come back to downward facing dog. So if you're resting, take as long as you need. Remember, you can always pause this video and then join back in. If you are ready to get moving again, next time you inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Exhale, step your foot forwards between your hands, warrior two. So back toes turn out towards the left side of your room. Inhale, come up, chest turns to left side of room, arms reach out. So peek down at your front leg. You want your toes pointing towards the front of your mat, or if you're not on a mat, just on the front of your room, and then knee pointing out over middle toe. So rather than pointing in, you want to still be able to see your big toe on your front foot. See if you can draw your shoulder blades a little bit down your back away from your ears. And then remember when we were lying on the floor at the beginning and you were breathing slow and steady, think about breathing at that same just steady, unhurried rate here. Then next time you inhale, straighten your front leg. Keep it straight. As you exhale, reach your right fingertips past your tiptoes. When you can't reach any further, let that hand drop down. It'll probably land somewhere on your shin. Reach other arm up to ceiling. If arm up to ceiling gets kind of tired or it feels at all uncomfortable in that shoulder or that side of your neck, you could always go top hand, top hip. Another alternative for hand on shin is if you've got a brick, you could always prop your brick just underneath your shoulder and have your hand on it. Then next time you inhale, come back up, warrior two. So rebend front knee, reach arms out, shoulder height again. Great. Exhale, hands down to the floor by your front foot, downward facing dog. Hold there, or come down, take a break, or nice and slow, go plank, back bend, down dog. Then next time you inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Exhale, step that foot forwards between your hands, warrior two. Again, back toes turn out. Inhale, come up, reach arms out, shoulder height. Great, slow, steady breaths. Even though your shoulders are having to work a bit here to hold your arms out, see if they can drop away from ears a little. If arms get tired, you could go hands on hips. So checking in, you've got that same alignment of front knee, it's pointing out over middle toe. With your back leg, if back knee or ankle or anything feels uncomfortable, you could try changing the angle that your foot is turned in at. So anywhere from parallel to short edge of mat to slightly maybe turned in about 30, 45 degrees. You could always try stepping that foot a bit more towards the right long edge of your mat as well. Then on an inhale, straighten front leg. Keep it straight, exhale, triangle pose. So reach front fingertips past your tiptoes, front hand down, other arm reaches to ceiling, or you could go top hand, top hip. With your bottom hand, if it's on your shin, push your shin away from you. If it's on the block, you're pushing a block. Imagine you're trying to push down towards the floor. See if that helps you turn your chest slightly more towards the right side of the room. Then on an inhale, come back up, warrior two. So rebend front knee, arms reach out. Exhale, hands down to your front foot, downward facing dog. Again, hold here, or bring your knees down for a break, or go plank, lower down, back bend, downward facing dog. So for this next round, you might want your brick or whatever prop you were using. If it's not already by the front right-hand corner of your mat, that might be where you want to place it, just so it's handy. Then on an inhale, lift your right leg up and back behind you. Keep it lifted, keep it straight. As you exhale, just swivel your hips so that your belly button and your top toes point towards the right side of the room.
So you might hear in other classes, people call this opening up your top hip. Lift the outer edge of your foot up to the ceiling, but keep that leg straight. Take a breath in there. Exhale, step your foot forwards between your hands, warrior two again, back toes turn out, inhale, come up. Okay, so that way that we just lifted your leg in downward dog, we're going to bring that into a balancing posture in a couple of minutes time. Keep your legs as they are, turn your front palm to face the ceiling. On an inhale, reach front arm up, let back hand drop, so reverse warrior. If you're leaning way far back, and you can't breathe as easily as you could when we were lying on the floor at the beginning, maybe think about reaching more up to ceiling instead of back behind you. Then on an inhale, transition back through warrior two, so arm shoulder height. Exhale, side angle pose. You could prop your front arm on your front thigh like me, other arm alongside ear, or you may want to take your hand down to the block again. So look down at your feet. See how the front one is in line with the long edge of your mat and the back one is kind of turned out? We're about to shift into a balance and your back foot is going to stay turned out like that. So as you inhale, put your top hand on your top hip. Exhale, shorten your stride a bit, so it's back foot closer to front foot. Inhale, bottom hand down to floor, or I'm going to grab my block and then step it forwards of your front foot. As you exhale, shift your weight onto front foot and onto bottom hand until maybe back leg can hover a bit. Or if that goes okay, you might lift your back leg up high. Remember how we practice lifting it in downward facing dog? You're lifting the outer edge of your foot up to the ceiling. If that's all going okay, you could try reaching top arm up. If you're feeling kind of wobbly, keep hands on your hips. Looking to the floor will make it slightly easier to balance. Looking up to ceiling will make it harder. Then leaving your block where it is, take a breath in. Exhale, warrior two. So bend standing knee, top foot down at back of mat. Inhale, arms reach out, perfect. Exhale, hands down to floor, downward facing dog. Hold here, bring your knees down for a rest, or go plank, lower down. Your choice of back bend, come back to downward facing dog. And then we'll do all that same stuff on the other side. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Make it straight, keep it straight. Exhale, open up your hip. So turn belly button and top toes towards the left side of the room. Inhale, lift outer edge of foot up to ceiling. Exhale, step your foot forwards, warrior two. Back toes turn out. Inhale, come up, arms reach out, shoulder height. Slow, steady breaths. Flip front palm to face the ceiling. Next time you inhale, reach front arm up, back hand drops. One more breath in here. As you breathe out, transition through warrior two. Inhale where you are, chest lifts. Exhale, front arm down, maybe front thigh or hand to block, other arm alongside ear. Take a moment here, just feeling feet on the floor, feeling that length in your right side. So actively press your front foot into the floor because that's the one we're about to stand on. So we want that one to feel steady. Then as you inhale, put your top hand on your top hip. Exhale, shorten your stride, so back foot steps up a bit. Inhale, bottom hand down to floor or block. Step that forwards of your front foot. Exhale, shift your weight onto front foot. So your back toes, as they're lifting up, they're still turning towards the right side of your room. You might just hover your leg. You might lift it high. You could keep your top hand on your top hip or reach it up to the ceiling. You can choose to look at the floor, look at the side of the room, or look up to the ceiling. Warning, looking at ceiling is more wobbly. Take one more inhale if you're still with me. Exhale, warrior two, top foot down, back of mat. Inhale, arms reach out. Exhale, hands down to floor, downward facing dog. Great. Hold there. Bring your knees down for a rest or go plank, back bend, down dog. I think I'm going to take a moment in child's pose. Then when you're ready to move again, let's meet in downward dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Excuse me. Exhale, step your foot forwards, warrior one. So that means back toes turn out just a little bit. Inhale, reach your arms forwards and up. Great. And keeping your feet as they are. On an inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, put hands on hips. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, tilt forwards over your front leg. We'll be here for a couple of breaths, so you might want to keep your hands on your hips. You could take your hands down to your shin, or if you had a block, you could maybe put your block just inside your front foot and prop your hands on it. So slow, steady breaths. Then if you're using a block, put it to one side again. On an inhale, come back up, warrior one. Front knee bends, arms reach forwards and up. Keep your legs as they are. Exhale, bring arms down by side, palms face forwards. Inhale, lift your chest, shoulder blades squeeze a little bit. Keep that feeling. Exhale, just tilt forwards over front leg. Inhale, spin up onto the very tiptoes of your back foot. Exhale, shift your weight forwards onto front leg until maybe back leg lifts, or you might have to hop it in a couple of times and then lift it. So this is warrior three. Take a breath in here. We're just going to end up standing at the front of your mat. As you breathe out, both feet down. Great. Take a moment. And then shift your weight onto your right leg. Bend your left knee. Bring your heel towards your bum. Reach down with your left foot. Catch hold of the outside of, reach down with your left hand, catch hold of the outside of your foot. So you can see that the heel of my hand is by my little toes and my fingers are kind of wrapping around towards the big toe side of my foot. Reach your other arm forwards and up. Dancer pose. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, kick your foot up and back behind you. Try and keep breathing slow and steady. Maybe notice how this feels in your shoulder, because we're going to do it again a slightly different way. Take an inhale. Exhale, release. Both feet down. Arms by your side. Just take a moment. Breathe slow. Feel both feet on the floor. And then same pose again, same side, but with slightly different hold of your foot, which might feel a bit different in your shoulder. So start with hands in prayer again. Shift your weight onto your right foot, bend your left knee, bring heel towards bum. Reach down, catch hold of the outside of your foot, and then watch me for a moment. Swivel the heel of your hand around your toes so you end up holding onto the inside of your foot. So now your palm is touching where your inner arch is on your foot. This might tend to make your knee splay out to the side. So before we go anywhere else, point that top knee down to the floor. Reach other arm forwards and up. Inhale into chest. Exhale, kick leg up and back behind you. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, release. Both feet down, really nice. Inhale, reach arms to ceiling. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift halfway. The dogs come to get involved. Exhale, hands down, downward facing dog. Let's go straight to the other side. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Exhale, step it forwards. Warrior one, back toes turn out a little. Inhale, come up, reach arms forwards and up. Exhale, put hands on your hips. Inhale, straighten front leg. Exhale, fold down over your front leg. Hands to hips or shin or hands on block, your preference. Then on your next inhale, rebend front knee, reach arms forwards and up. Keep your front knee bent. Exhale, bring arms down by side, palms face forwards. Inhale, shrug shoulder blades away from ears. Exhale, just tip forwards over front leg. Keep that feeling in shoulders. Inhale, tiptoes back foot. Exhale, shift your weight forwards. Warrior 3. Take an inhale there. Exhale, bring your top foot down to meet your bottom foot. come to stand. Hands in prayer, take a breath in. As you breathe out, bend your right knee, bring heel towards bum. I'll just swivel around so you can see me better. Reach down, catch hold of the outside of your foot this first round. Inhale, other arm goes up, stand tall. Exhale, kick leg up and back behind you. Take an inhale here. Exhale, both feet down. Arms by your side. You could have your eyes closed. You just have gaze low. Then last round of this, hands to prayer again. Bend right knee, bring heel towards your bum. Reach down, catch hold of the outside of your foot to start with. Swivel the heel of your hand around your toes. So now you're holding on to inside. Reach other arm forwards and up. Inhale here. Exhale, kick your leg up and back behind you. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, both feet down. Inhale, reach arms to ceiling. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in there. As you breathe out, step your left foot forwards to the outside of your hands. Back knee down to floor. Keep your right hand on the floor. Inhale, reach your left arm forwards towards the front of the room, up to the ceiling, and then back towards the back edge of your mat. You could choose to either just stay here twisting upper body and pressing your back foot into the floor, or just another option, you could bend your back knee, catch hold of your foot. If any part of your body, in particular your knee, is like, no thank you, then don't catch hold of your foot. Then if you've got your foot, release it. On an inhale, sweep arm up again. Exhale, place it back down. Step back to all fours or downward facing dog, your choice. We're just going to do the same thing, other side. Take a breath in. Oh, I'm making my blocks fall over. As you breathe out, step your right foot forwards to outside of hands. Back knee to floor if it's not already. Inhale, sweep right arm forwards, up, and then back. Think about turning chest towards the right side of your room. You can either just reach through that arm or you can bend your knee, catch hold of your foot, your choice. If you've got your foot, release it. Inhale, sweep arm up to ceiling again. Exhale, drop it down to the floor. Step back to all fours. And then lower down to lie on your front. Reach your arms back alongside you. Palms face the floor. Inhale, lift arms, legs, chest, locust pose. Exhale, lower back down. Take a couple of breaths here. We're going to do something similar again. You could choose to have your palms facing the floor. If it feels nice in your body to interlink your fingers behind you, if that gives you a kind of a stretch in your chest, you might want to do that. If you don't prefer that option, you could just have hands apart, palms facing floor. Either way, on an inhale, lift everything up, arms, legs, chest. Then stay doing what you're doing, or don't grab your feet this round, just bend your knees, bring heels towards bums. If you feel that backs of your legs work more, take a breath in. Exhale, release. You could rest your forehead on your hands, or you could turn your face to one side. I'm just going to stay propped up so my mic doesn't get muffled. Then if you feel like you've had enough of bending your spine backwards, you could stay where you are. You could do either one of those two postures we've just done again. So arms and legs straight, or fingers interlinked and knees bent, or just another way of doing it. This time you could reach back, catch your feet. So either way, let's all start in locust pose. So if you're going to come up, lift everything up. Choose to stay there or bend your knees. Choose to keep doing that or reach back, catch your feet. If you're catching your feet, kick them up and back. If you're not holding your feet, you're bringing heels towards bum. Take a breath in, exhale, release. Ignore the sound of my knees cracking. They've always done that since I was a kid. Breathe down into belly. And then when you're ready, make your way to lying on your back. And let's start with knees bent, just how we did at the beginning. So we've done a lot of bending your spine forwards, we bent it backwards, we've done some twisting. Now spine just back in a relatively neutral position. Then shift your bum just a little bit over to the left. Straighten right leg, left knee to chest. Put your opposite hand on that knee. If you've got space, your left arm could go out wide. Take a breath in. Exhale, take your knee across your body into a twist. Perhaps decide for your neck what feels most comfortable, face looking at the ceiling, face looking to left, or face looking to right. Take an inhale. As you exhale, come back up. Both knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Shift your bum back to center and then a bit over to right hand side of mat. Straighten left leg, right knee into chest, opposite hand on that knee. Take an inhale. Exhale, take your knee over to the left. So feeling sensation around the outside of your top here, your top hip here. I'm fine with that. That's probably stuff stretching. If you feel anything pinching on the inside of your hip, instead of just letting your leg be passive and with your hand pulling it over, stay as you are, but with your knee push back up against your hand. It's going to tend to fire up the muscles in your outer hip, and it might make that pinching feeling on the inside dissipate. If you weren't feeling pinching, then you can choose to not do that if you don't want to. And then nice and slow, release. Bring hips back to center. Hug knees into chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Rock a little bit side to side. Then when you're ready, bring your feet down onto the floor. If you're comfortable resting with legs out straight, you could go for that. If that's not comfortable, if it maybe feels like it pulls a little bit in lower back, you could have knees bent up, feet slightly wider and knees knocking in. Choose arms by side, or maybe hands on belly, arms out wide if you prefer. Check if there are any little last minute adjustments you need to make to become still. Then take a long, deep inhale down into your belly. And lengthen your exhale. Then let your breath just return to its natural pattern. So coming and going unhurried. Notice that you can feel your feet and your legs. Encourage all those big, strong muscles in legs to just relax and be heavy. Consider that you can feel each of your hands left and right.
each of your elbows. Each of your shoulders. The back of your head. Notice how your neck and shoulders feel next time you inhale. See if you can relax them as you exhale. Then lastly, check for any residual tension, any expression on your face that you could let melt away. And let's just finish with a few breaths here in quiet. Then notice if your mind has wandered off. And instead consider that you can feel yourself breathing. Make your next inhale a little bit deeper. Then the exhale that follows slightly longer. A couple more of those. And either just keep doing what you're doing, or maybe next time you inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, take arms all the way overhead. Perhaps straighten legs if they were bent. Take an inhale there, full body stretch. So reach through arms, reach through feet. As you breathe out, bring arms back down by your sides. Bend your knees, walk your feet in. Hug knees into chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And perhaps rock a little bit side to side. Then when you're ready, gently make your way up to sit. You can choose to sit cross-legged. You can sit up on your heels. I'm going to grab my block and sit on my block. Makes me feel like I can sit a bit straighter. Bring your palms together, thumbs to chest. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, drop your chin. Thank you so much. Nice work, guys.